You're listening to a podcast by La Femme Underground International Film Festival, a podcast for feminists like you.
You cannot hesitate. The only thing worse than being incompetent, or being unkind, or being evil, is being indecisive.
Okay. Shall we?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second episode of The Tea with Jiji. My name is Jiji, and today we're going to be talking about the movie Thoroughbreds. In my last podcast, I did not mention this, but I feel like it's really important to say it this time. I am going to be saying so many spoilers, so if you have not seen the movie Thoroughbreds, click off this now. Otherwise, I am here to analyze, and we're going to pick this apart. So to begin, it came out in March earlier this year in 2018. It is written and directed by a man named Corey Finley. The two main characters are these two girls who are best friends, and it's interesting for me to analyze something that a man has written and his interpretation of, women in general, kind of what perspective that this guy was willing to take, especially since I have not seen any other work by him, or at least that is as popular or as big as this production. I was genuinely impressed by it, and I think it's still one of my favorite independent films. The aesthetics of the film itself, like the costumes and the location choices and the sets built, were gorgeous, absolutely stunning. I liked a lot of the symmetrical long shots and things like that, just from a production point of view. So to get into it, there are two main characters. One of them is Anya Taylor-Joy, also kind of an up-and-coming actress. She starred in the movie Split, which starred James McAvoy, and it was about the 23 different personalities. And then there's the other main character, who is Olivia Cook, and she plays Amanda. Lily and Amanda were once really good friends because they used to ride horses together, hence the name of the film, Thoroughbreds. One day, it was rumored that Amanda killed her own horse. So Lily and her kind of broke apart because of all the rumors going around that Amanda was this crazy freak, and Lily didn't want to be part of it, and she's from very, very uptight, upper-class family, so they didn't want that reflecting on her reputation. As one can predict, years later, Lily is seen as this really beautiful overachiever, kind of this very uptight girl who's always trying to do the right thing by her family. And Amanda is just kind of this outcast who's very much like, I've kind of been left alone by the world and I want to do my own thing. But the thing about Amanda is that she's so independent and she's like, I don't really care what people think of me. So these are essentially opposites, And I guess one day Amanda's mom wants her to reconnect with Lily because she needs to be tutored, and Lily is really smart. So Amanda goes over to Lily's house, and it is so awkward. You could cut the tension with a knife, but I love it because you can see such a relatable aspect if you've ever broken up with a friend. Having a relationship romantically and any heartbreak is really difficult. Anybody who's been in relationships can understand that that's a really hard thing to go through. But I feel like when you've got a best friend and you guys break up, it's one of the most devastating feelings, especially if you feel like that person really wronged you or stabbed you in the back. And that's a very kind of female arc, I feel, that's popular, is this backstabbing ordeal, especially within like American high school theme. Like I said, Amanda goes over to Lily's house to get tutored. While they're sitting there, they're kind of catching up, and they are trying to test the boundaries of each other, but it's still kind of awkward. And eventually, Amanda meets Lily's stepdad, and Lily can't stand him. Amanda can't stand him either, even though she's known him for a very short amount of time. And Amanda introduces the idea to Lily that maybe they should kill him. And Lily thinks that it's just kind of crazy eventually, and she's like, how could you think that? How dare you? They get to a point where they decide to hire this hitman to do it named Tim, who's played by Anton Yelchin. Tim is this guy who's like, comes off as, this hard dude, but he's kind of like the guy who lives in his mom's basement and like doesn't have any street cred. So naturally, when this guy goes to finish the job that he's essentially blackmailed to do by Amanda and Lily, he fails. He wimps out. Instead of trying to turn him in or anything like that, they decide to cancel the plan. Or at least Amanda thinks so once she talks to Lily about it. However, you see this character switch within Lily, who's this, perfect, pristine girl, and she insists on doing the damage. She wants to murder this guy. Towards the end of the film, she tells Amanda, I put a roofie in your drink and I was going to plan the murder around you. Amanda just looks at her, takes the drink from her hand and drinks the whole thing and says, do it. Lily follows through, murders the guy, and frames it on Amanda. So Amanda ends up in a psych ward and Lily ends up kind of just living her best life as this upper class rich white girl, which sounds nuts, but I adore it because not only is it this kind of like dry, sarcastic comedy thriller, but it really shows how female friendships can just change in the blink of an eye and what a person is capable of that is hidden underneath. Women are taught, you got to be pristine, you got to be proper, you got to be this and that, and all these ridiculous standards. But deep down, every personality is so complex and so different. And it just goes to show that the person who you would least expect is the one who follows through on an action that you wouldn't assume they would do. I just adore the way they did that. I think it's like, especially from, like I said, from a very male perspective, that's not to criticize or say that it is lesser than if a female wrote it, but I just found it interesting, like I said, about how a male could look at it and think, well, this is how I perceive female friendships, or maybe this is how I perceive a female friendship could turn out. And I was really impressed because personally, there are some friendships that I've reconnected with and have been like, yeah, we're going to go back and better than ever. But to kind of take it as far as to go into this thriller genre is to saying, we were once friends and there was a long time where we're not, but now that we are, I love you so much that I would go to an insane asylum for you, or I would let you plan a murder just so you could be happy. Like that's this crazy ride or die love, and it's not to be romanticized, of course, but it's I just love the extremism to it because it's like, again, something you would least expect. And I think that's kind of the ultimate theme of this movie is there might be a lot of rumors circulating and there might be a lot of controversy, but at the end of the day, people are going to show who they are through their actions. The best part of it all is that Lily's motive, not only does she hate this guy, but she's really doing it for another woman as well, which is her mom. And, because she's married to this guy. So it's kind of ironic because it is this kind of empowering female move in a weird, twisted way, but it is for a girl who isn't quite yet free herself. So I think I'm going to end it on that for now, but please join me back again next episode. Thank you so much.
Tea with Jiji is a production of La Femme Underground International Film Festival, bringing you a global view of feminism in media today. Shows of this podcast is written and performed by Gianna Corvo. Production design and editing by Elizabeth Ferguson. And produced by Adam Enriquez. Special thanks to YouTube for providing us with film footage. If you want to know more about our podcast, our Facebook is Tea with Jiji. And if you want to contribute to an episode or have ideas for future podcasts, make sure to contact us at lefuff.partnerships@gmail.com. Thank you and have a fantastic day.